morning to everyone. Please turn up your microphones.
Those things never work.
Would have to be crazy to do that.
To unlock the door for those around them criticize and see. I see you fractal on that big wall. I see you, my friend, and touch your lips again. Miracles will happen.
I can't believe my friend didn't even go to college and making a fortune with the travel deal.
My friend just got in one of those pyramid things. I would never.
We get a little crazy. Walking through my head, one of them out gone. She on the one. Get together, they were like a school. When we first took the field, we get a little crazy. So we're never gonna survive. We are a little crazy. No, never survive unless we get a little
Who's crazy now?
We're crazy.
Always said I was crazy. Maybe you should be crazy. Come on out. Is this crazy? Yeah, we're living crazy lives.
And a world full of people, oh, it's so wrong to try. It's not easy, easy. And a world full of people, it's so wrong to try. It's not easy, oh, baby. And a world full of people, it's so wrong to try. It's not easy, easy.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone. Just a moment to open my camera, please. I hope you can see me. So good morning to everyone. Good morning from Greece. I am from Greece. It is an amazing day today, and we are going to have an amazing call. And I'm so excited. So I hope you can hear me well. If you hear me well, just write me on the chat at the bottom of your right. The word amazing, because amazing are going to be our next minutes in this call, trust me. As amazing are the next hours, days, months, years are going to be a whole life, because I know that all the people we are in this call, all the people we are in the World Ventures family, once we choose to create an amazing life, okay? Just write me the word amazing and write me, and where are you from? Just a moment to wear my glasses because I can't see very good. Okay, so, and the place you're from, so we can see the different places we are connected here. So Greece, Belgium, amazing. So Moldova, Lithuania, Riga, yes, Greece. Okay, Botswana, Sweden, Romania, Sydney, Cyprus, Lithuania. Okay, Germany, I'm so excited. It's so amazing that we are so many people connected in this special call today. Well, I wanted to start. I don't want to waste the time of this special call. I'm so excited because yesterday I learned about this leadership female call, and I'm more excited because I was asked to be the host of this call with a special woman that I really admire her. I really respect her. She's a person, a woman that I get inspired every time she speaks. She speaks in my heart, and I know that she speaks in the hearts of thousands of people. But before I welcome this special woman, I want to introduce myself. My name is Fotopoulou Antonia. I am from Greece, as you understood. I am a director in World Ventures. I am a mother of 2 children, with 2 wonderful children. I started my journey in World Ventures before almost 5 years. I had a business of my own for 17 years until then. And I'm not here for sure to tell you my story. I want only to share with you this. I started this journey before 5 years, as I told you, and the situation in Greece was very bad that time. We had a very bad period because like today, okay, like today, we had the capital controls, all the banks were closed, or the business were collapsed. The people, we didn't know what was going to happen the next day, the next months, our future. So I had a business, as I told you, and in my mind, I had that I might do something to find a solution, but I didn't know what I was looking for. I had the fake belief in my mind that I had to have enough money, enough time to invest, so to change all the situation, and it was fake. Okay, I was a very negative person to see anything. Okay, until I saw the presentation of World Ventures of a friend of a businessman that introduced me then. And when I saw the presentations, I felt something very different in my heart. I felt something that it was really good. Okay, and it took me one minute, 1 second. It took me 1 second to make the decision, and all this journey started. I don't want to tell you what I have went through this, my story. No, I want only to tell you that it's not the money, guys. It's not the trips. It's not the experiences, the unique people. Okay, the time that I earned from this, it's for me the most important, the person I have become through all this knowledge I took from the special, the amazing training system we have, the knowledge that I took from the amazing people I met, people I haven't met before in my life, like is the person I'm going to welcome in a while from now. So I had the belief then, that bad period, when I started my journey in World Ventures, I had the belief, the strong belief, and the same belief I have now, and I'm going to have in all my life, that when something goes very bad outside, something else at the same time is happening. So we must focus on the good. We must focus on the good only, okay, if we want to change the situation around us. So I want your big welcome now. Okay, for a very special woman that we all know in the World Ventures family, a woman that we know for her passion, for her energy. She has a permanent smile on her face. She's an IMD. She's one of the top earners in the company. She is the reason that Cyprus now is on the map of World Ventures. Okay, she's a night trainer in the global trainers event that we are attending. And she's one of the top earners. I don't remember if I told that, okay, of the company. So I want you to be very focused to her. I want to give her all your energy and take notes, please. Take notes, trust me, okay? I want your welcome for Efrosyni Adamides. Efrosyni mu. Can you hear us?
Good morning, kalimera, kalispera, good evening, la padritas, bonjour. Antonia, we thank you for that awesome introduction. And I have to say, your story is very inspiring, and your passion and your strength, I can feel it through the video camera, and I can't wait to see you train on stage one day soon. So ladies, welcome, welcome. Before we get started, I just want to make sure that the people on this call right now are ladies. You know, sometimes we get some men that don't want to miss out and they try to sneak in and things like that. So if you are a man or a boy and you've always connected with ladies, this is the time to get off the call, because this is just purely female empowerment call. So that's the first thing. Second thing, you guys saw that I played a video before we got started, and the video was called Who's Crazy Now? And funnily enough, the video that I played, some of you might have noticed, that video is a little bit old. In fact, that video was the video that they played when I went to my second view in October 2010 in Dallas. And I remember watching that video, and in that video, you would have seen that it talks about an economic crisis. It talks about people hanging on by a thread for dear life, because that was around the time where we were going through the end of the last global economic crisis, where millions of people had lost their jobs, where unemployment was a record high in many, many countries around the world. And I played that video because I believe it's almost appropriate to what's happening right now in the world. Right now in the world, there's a lot of uncertainty. You know, the markets are volatile. The airports are closed right now, which is interesting. I'm in my parents' home. I'm in Cyprus. I'm in the little village that I grew up. In fact, if you can see there in the background, there's a picture of me and my two brothers when we were kids. And I love looking at that picture because you know what? When we were young and we were kids, the dreams were so big. The sky, the world felt so big. And we were young, and I want you to think about what it was like when you were young. You felt unstoppable. You felt like nothing could get in the way. We were carefree, okay? Because we didn't have to worry about, you know, careers and jobs and paying bills and things like that. Things were taken care of. Maybe you grew up with some struggles though. Maybe you saw your parents struggle. I remember growing up in Australia. I remember my parents moved to Australia when I was 10. My older brother was 12, and my younger brother, George Adamides, which I believe many of you know him, was 7 years old. And we moved to Australia, could hardly speak English. Some people still question my English speaking abilities, but that's a different conversation. And remember we moved there because my parents had, they wanted to educate us in Australia, because my dad was a geologist. And in fact, I'm in his office right now. So if you have a look at his office, there's many books and many rocks. You know, that's his passion, studying geology. And when the mining industry completely collapsed in Cyprus, he had a choice, either to stay in Cyprus where he was comfortable, but he would end up becoming a farmer because no mines were open. He couldn't practice what he studied all these years, or he had to do what was uncomfortable, which is pick up a family on 5 and take us to Australia. And, you know, Cyprus to Australia is 25 hours flight now. Back then, it was 40 hours because we had to go through London. Travel was much more expensive then. This is going back in 1988, to give you an idea. 1st of January, 1988, we moved to Australia. And in fact, 1988, when was the last economic crash? So we had a crash in 88, right when we moved to Australia, crash in 2008, okay? There was an economic crash in 1992, 95 in different parts of the world as well, in Australia. Now, you're thinking, why am I saying all of this to you? I'm saying all of this to you because what we're going through right now is essentially another situation when there's going to be an economic crash. And yes, there's a pandemic that we have not experienced to this level in our lifetime, but those pandemics have come around in the past as well. But like every recession that has passed, whether it was the recession in 08, 09, where there was the crisis in Greece that Antonia was talking about earlier, and capital control, because we had similar situation and in Greece and in Cyprus, all these things passed. And we as humans, we survived it. And we're resilient as humans. We're adaptable. That sometimes when you put pressure on people, that is the only way to determine the diamond that is inside that person in the first place. If you know diamonds, without pressure, it's just a piece of glass. Every single one of us right now, we have some pressures. Whether it's the pressures outside with what's happening in the world, maybe it's the pressure inside your home right now because maybe what's happening in the outside world is also impacting your family household. Maybe it's impacting you financially. Maybe it's also impacting us physically to a certain degree, okay? Restriction of movement. You know, my dad went and did the grocery shopping this morning and, you know, we spent an hour literally wiping down every single thing that came into the house because you got to take precautions with what's happening. Maybe it's challenging you psychologically right now. Because if you're like me, being trapped inside the house, it's been a long time since I spent more than 2.5 weeks in one country, let alone in one house, okay, without being able to move. But all these things are putting pressure on us. But here's the cool thing. If you say you can handle it, you can handle it. Women were more resilient than anything. Women were naturally born to multitask. You know, especially if you're a mother, listen to Antonia talk, be a mother and a businesswoman and used to juggling so many different things at the same time. Women rise up to that because we were born for this. Women are natural nurturers. We're very good naturally to empathize with people, to build that connection with people. And here's something that I want you ladies to do, okay? Right now, there's a lot of people out there that are going through a difficult time, and there's many ways that we can help them, but the first way that we can help them is to connect with them. There's a lot of people that are lonely right now. They're lost. Now, we're fortunate we're part of a great company that you guys have noticed that literally lately, there's been a lot of training course and presentations and so many different things that are happening to help us to build the mindset strong. And we're fortunate that we have a company that believes in building people. But guys, the outside world doesn't have that. Many people are not plugged in to a personal development mindset, to a growing mindset. So literally, there's a bunch of people right now that are passing their time being glued to their phone, but not in a productive way, in a very unproductive way. They're looking at the news every single day. How many people have died now? Oh my God, could you believe this has happened? And did you know in this country, this and this has happened? And what they're doing, and you know, because we do like to talk to each other, is they're all participating in magnifying the size of the challenge that is facing the world. I spoke to one of my god sisters yesterday, and I called her up just to see how she's doing. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm literally reaching out to as many people as possible right now, and just sending a simple line of, you popped into my mind, how are you keeping during these interesting times? By the way, notice my words. I didn't say bad times. I said these interesting times, because they are interesting times. I'm telling you, you know, one thing they're not is boring, okay? They're definitely very interesting times. How are you keeping during this interesting times? The only thing that I want to start is I want to start a dialogue. First thing I want to do is I want them to feel like I care for them. Now, I'm not just sending this message to all my prospects because I want to show them what we're doing, and I want to show them the solution we found to help people protect themselves and their families during this interesting time. I'm sending this message to all my team members as well. I'm sending this message to all my team members. So I've literally just started going down the list. I can't go through my whole binary, guys. I mean, my binary is too big right now, okay? But I'm going through the list, and I'm starting sort of like from my bottom left, bottom right, so the newer people in the team. And one by one, and I encourage you ladies to do this as well, one by one, reaching out to people. If I have the telephone number, it's a phone call. Adoniamu, how are you doing? You popped into my mind. I want to reach out to you. How are you doing? Okay. Here's a tip though. When I called my god sister yesterday to see how she's doing, she was very mentally committed to get me to participate in the whole conversation about the virus. I'm not interested in that, okay? We can't change the virus, guys, okay? We can protect ourselves through what the virus is, but the virus is an invincible war amongst people right now, okay? It's intangible. You can't see it, you can't touch it. The only thing that you can do is prepare yourself mentally with what's happening, but also financially prepare yourself for what's going to happen afterwards, okay? So for the first few minutes, couple of minutes, she started talking. She's like, oh, this virus, who would have thought? I'm stuck in the house. I can't see my family, things like that. And I said to her one question, because she's a government employee. I said, you're home right now. I said, have you ever had this much time off? She's like, no, I've never had this much time off. I was like, great. And you're a government employee, so you're still getting paid, right? She's like, yeah. I said, well, what about all those people that are not getting paid right now, and they're at home, and maybe they've lost their job, or they don't know whether they're gonna have a job in a few weeks? What about those people? And she sat there and she thought about it, and she was like, so I'm really lucky, aren't I? One question flipped her from victim mindset, focusing on my daughter moved out of home and I can't see her, my mom lives in a separate village and I can't see her, to I'm really lucky. You see what I mean? One question. So the conversations you're having with people, you want to have the conversations that if there's one goal that you want to have when you're having a conversation with people, is how you can lift them up, how you can improve their day by simple conversation that you have, okay? So the thing is that by doing this, okay, especially with team members as well, here's the other reason that I'm doing it. I'm redirecting their focus, okay? So many people right now are sitting there saying to me, Efrosyni, you know, I was saying to someone yesterday, I said, business is booming. And ladies, business is booming. I get the daily results, the daily sales from the whole company right now. And yesterday alone, we had 20% bigger sales than the day before. Like literally in the last 24 hours. The sales are beginning to go like this. Last week, I had 9 new senior reps. 9 or 7. 7 or 9 new senior reps. I counted 55 people hit a new rank in my team last week. 55 people. I am not talking about 1-star qualified, all of those. I am talking about senior reps, directors, marketing directors, okay? And 3 stars. 3 stars are in there as well. 55 new people hit rank. So when I was saying to someone yesterday, I'm like, business is booming. They're like, what do you mean business is booming? Everything is shut. I said, yes, but guess what? Everybody's at home. Everybody's at home right now. Everybody gained an extra 1 or 2 hours every single day right now. You know why? Because on average, every person spends 1 or 2 hours a day commuting to and from work. So even people that were super busy before, now they have an extra 1 or 2 hours every single day to build their part-time business if they're still working from home. Some people are not even working right now. So when I'm sitting there and I'm speaking to a team member and they said to me, but what about the travel industry? The airports are shut. And I said to them, well, let me ask you something. If someone says to you, let's say you enjoy steak, okay? I'm fasting right now, so I'm not eating any meat, but let's say you enjoy steak. And they say to you that for the next 90 days, you cannot eat steak. As soon as the 90 days finish, what's the first thing you want to do? You want to go have a piece of steak because that's the thing that was deprived to you for 90 days. So if someone says to you right now, you're not allowed to travel for the next 90 days. I don't know about you ladies, you know what I was doing yesterday? I was looking at dream trips from August, September, October. Okay, I got a bunch of dream trip points that I got back in Rovio Bucks because we couldn't go to Torino. I gotta spend them somewhere. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so yes, this lockdown, we don't know how long it's gonna be, but here's what I know. There's a really cool dream trip in Edinburgh for the military festival that I really wanna go to. They just announced it, okay? The military exhibition is something very powerful, right? I've always wanted to do that. There's a dream trip for it. What's the worst case scenario? I book the dream trip. Let's say we're still in quarantine by August. I'd highly doubt it, but let's say worst case scenario. I get the Rovio Bucks that I already have in my account right now, send back to me and I book a dream trip later on. That's the worst case scenario. Cool scenario is that I have something exciting to look forward to. You see what I mean? That's what keeps me going. You gotta have the light at the end of the tunnel. Do you see what I mean? So the thing is that when the things that is taken away from you, as soon as you can have it, believe me, you want to indulge on it. You might not have 1 steak. You might want to have 2 steaks in a row. One day and another day. Do you see what I mean? Okay. I remember when I was about 1.5 years ago, I had an accident. Okay. And I was in a wheelchair for a few weeks. I honestly didn't appreciate as much being able to be walking freely or even the easiness of walking up and down steps until I couldn't walk up and down steps, until I couldn't walk properly. When that was taken away from me, I tell you what, every single day when I started being able to walk again, every day I wanted to go for a walk because I couldn't do it for a while. I learned to appreciate it so much more because it was taken away from me. So the same thing is going to happen with the travel industry. Right now it's been taken away from us. When the borders open, when the airports open, I am telling you, there's going to be the biggest explosion in the travel industry we have ever experienced. And we're well positioned for that in order to take advantage of it. So I'm having this conversation, ladies, with my team members. I'm having this conversation with prospects as well. when I'm speaking to them, because the thing is, funnily enough, there's also some people that they're miserable and they want us to participate in their misery. So, you know, people like that, right? When you speak to them, they're like, oh, you know, things must be extra tough for you guys right now being in the travel industry. And I'm like, actually, they've never been better. I haven't done this many Zoom calls since I can't remember. Do you see what I mean? Literally on Zoom. I can have my water, I can have my coffee. Today I'm working from my dad's office. Yesterday I was working from the garden, you know. I'm gonna go to my grandma's later on. I'll see my grandma and I can do phone calls from my grandma. What am I complaining about? Do you see what I mean? Because I'm really good at seeing the best out of every single situation. And some people are not, but we can flip them. We can flip the switch to change their perspective from focusing on the glass is half empty to the glass is half full. They say work hard in your job, it gives you security. Work harder on your plan B, that's what gives you freedom. Guys, there's never been a better time to flip that switch, because now the plan B for a lot of people can become plan A for a season. Now, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people right now that are hidden ranks. I just got a message. There's a lady over in Africa, hit director in 2 months, 11 days. There's another lady from Mexico that was speaking last night, hit director in a few weeks. You know why? Because there's many people that didn't have time now have plenty of time. So here's some other things I want you ladies to focus on. There's presentations happening every single day right now, but a lot of people are making the mistake that they're getting people to come on the presentations the same way some people were just building with travel parties before. They were literally coming, bringing a couple of guests to a travel party, and then all of a sudden accepting magically people to just sign up and start taking action. This is not the way to just build the business, ladies. The way to build the business is, here's the best way to build the business. Two-on-ones, get people started, bring them to a travel party, they see the bigger picture, belief goes up, get them to a training, they see a bigger picture, belief increases, and so on, okay? Little activity to generate the little numbers, get them to a training, you generate the bigger numbers. This is how we build the business offline. How do we build the business online? Same thing. Two-on-ones on Zoom, okay? Do not just wait for the big Zoom presentations with your IMDs to be showing people. If you're doing that, you're gonna build slow. During the rest of the time during the day, two-on-ones, okay? So if, let's say, for example, you got a lady that you just got started, okay? So for example, I just signed up a lady just the other day, okay? And I did a fast start training with her. And the first goal that I always have with people when I do a fast start, scoring 24. Let's help them make that first sale fast, because the faster you can help them to make that first sale, the faster their belief goes up, okay? So I got her started. I didn't wait for the big travel party online. There was a travel party online 3 days later. I wanted to help her straight away. So I got her started, got her to invite, and then we did a Zoom call, a two-on-one with a personal. Personally, when I'm doing a Zoom call, I'm just getting them to watch the video, but here's what I'm doing. This is very important. I don't send them the video and go, call me when the video finishes. I don't do that. I send them the video and I go, look, you're the person that invited you, whatever their name is going to be watching the video with you. I'm going to turn off my video, guys, but I'm here right now. And when the video finishes, I'll jump back on and answer any questions. So it's the same thing as the two-on-one face-to-face. If you send them the video, you're going to be chasing them afterwards. We don't want to be chasing people, okay? So I send them the video. I tell the person that invited them watch the video with them, okay, so they can see each other's video. I've turned off my video and my microphone, and it's so funny. When you do that and they don't see you, all of a sudden people automatically think you're not there. I listen to what's being said. So if all of a sudden they stop the video and they start talking, I'll unmute myself and go, hey guys, sorry to interrupt. You know, it's probably better to finish watching the video because chances are it's going to answer all your questions before the end of the video. But of course, any questions you've got, just write them down and I promise you I'll answer everything by the end of the day, by the end of the video. So funny. As soon as you do that, it's like all of a sudden they start paying attention more to the video because they realize you're watching. You see what I mean? It's the same thing as a 2-on-1. If you're doing a 2-on-1, okay, the way you watch the presentation is going to determine how your guest watches the presentation. You see what I mean? So I'm doing this 2-on-1. So we helped her to score in 24. So I'm doing this 2-on-1s. And then we had the big online Super Saturday last Saturday. So I got them both watching that training as well. Okay. So I'm building the business, guys, online the same way that I build it offline. When you're doing 2-on-1s with your team members on Zoom, you're building leadership. They're taking ownership of their business. If you're just getting them in order to just send guests to the big travel party, they're not really participating in their business. And here's the thing, you deserve the results you have. You deserve the results you have. I'm going to put a little parenthesis here though, okay? You deserve the results you have because your action is going to determine the results that you have. But in network marketing, we also have what we call delayed gratification. So there is a season where you're putting and you're planting the seeds of the harvest, okay? And especially right now with what's happening in the world, ladies, okay, here's the challenging things. Right now, the thing that we're really fighting for is people's attention. People have so many distractions coming at them, whether it's from the media, whether it's from the family or the peer group, because there's some people that are operating in fear right now, and people are operating in fear. It's very difficult to get them to see the opportunity. They might see it physically, but not be there mentally, okay? So the thing is that we're fighting for people's attention to get them to see the message. That's what you're really fighting for right now. So you gotta understand that when you're showing people online, yes, right now, you may need to show more people than normal to get the results that you were getting before, when you were showing 10 people and getting 2, 3, 4 sales out of 10 or 5, okay? Online, the results are gonna be different. Here's the other thing is, you're planting seeds. So I was speaking to a lady that I met a big event literally a few months ago. She's a travel photographer, and I spoke to her, and she was on the Zoom call the other day, the presentation. And when I spoke to her, all I said to her, because, hey, just you popped into my mind, was thinking of you. How are you keeping during these interesting times? She says to me, well, look, being a travel photographer, my income's disappeared just like that. Because she gets paid from going to different destinations and taking pictures. Airports are shut, airlines have stopped working. So she's literally right now, you know, no income. And she goes, I'm looking for ways that I can make money. I said, great. I said, if you're looking for ways to make money, I'm actually helping people make money online right now from their home. And I've been doing that for 11 years. If you're open, we can have a call. I can share with you what I'm working on. So you see, my invitation is not evasive, like in the sense that you have to see what I'm doing right now. I found the perfect solution. It's too pushy right now, guys. You need to be a little bit gentle right now and need to be more empathetic to what's happening in people's situations, okay? So we had a conversation. I said to her, look, you know, I came across a company, funnily enough, before the, you know, straight after the last economic crash, I came across this company. And at a time that was quite dark for me, I finally saw the light because I saw an opportunity that I can actually recession-proof my income through this business opportunity. So I pre-framed it that way, okay, that even though you're going through a difficult time right now, there is a way to change it. And I said, look, I edified, by the way, this is very important. I edified the presenters that did the Zoom. I didn't just say, watch the Zoom, okay? I edified the presenters that did the Zoom because this is very important because it determines how much attention they're paying to them. And I said, I'm going to be watching this Zoom presentation with you. And at the end of it, we can have a conversation and I can go through any questions you've got and see whether it could be the solution for you as well. So we had a conversation afterwards and she said, look, you know, I love to travel. This looks great, but honestly, I don't want to have anything where I'm paying money right now. Now, I explained to her, I said, yeah, I totally get that you might not want to sit there and spend money right now, but you got to look at it from two perspectives. One, there's things that you spend money on that are expenses. This is not the case here. Expenses is things like your gym membership, okay? That's an expense, okay? Maybe your mobile phone bill, that's an expense. But there's things that you spend money on that can generate you an income, and this is income generating expense. So it's almost like an investment, but you don't want to call it an investment because usually investment, you buy into something and you wait for the money to come. This is a business. So by buying into it doesn't mean you're going to make money. You buy into it, but you build it like a business. So I said, where else right now could you get started and have a business that you can make money from home for less than $100? Now, she wasn't mentally ready to make that step, okay? But I planted that seed. She goes, look, I don't feel like I could do this right now. And I said, I totally get it. I said, if you're open though, come on the training. And I edified the training that's happening, the truth, on Saturday, because ladies, this training is gonna be very, very powerful. We just had a really powerful training online with Wayne Nugent and Sasha on the weekend. How many of you were actually on that training, the first online Super Saturday that happened on the weekend? How many of you were on there? Bomba, bomba, bomba. So how many, tell me like in one word or one sentence, what was the biggest thing that you got from that training on Saturday? Powerful, yeah. What's one word the separate? Wayne, desire, energy, 90 days commitment. Strong when we become together, absolutely. Never give up. Now watch this. Notice how many different things that people got from this training. Everybody wrote something different. You see what I mean? So you don't know what your team's going to get when they come into a training. That's why we invite them on the training. And especially when you've got a bunch of different speakers, different people will connect to different speakers. Like I know some people, touch wood, appreciate my training. I know some people that my training doesn't resonate with them. It could be my tonality, it could be my personality, it could be a number of things. I get that. I don't think I'm perfect. Here's what I know. If I'm going to put my team in front of 5 different speakers, I know there's at least 1 or 2 that's really going to resonate with them. I don't want to make it about me. I want to make it about the system. Okay? Peach. Yeah, I love Dr. Peach. It's one of my favorites. So here's the thing, ladies. So the thing is that right now I know that people's mindsets can be affected with what's happening out there. So by getting them in front of the truth training on Saturday, we're going to do something very special for the truth training. Believe me, we're going to make a very big announcement at the training on Saturday, which is really going to take the growth that we're already experiencing right now. It's going to take it on a whole new level. So building with 2-on-1s, okay? Building with 2-on-1s. That's how you're getting accountability with your team members as well. You're getting them engaged. The more people you have in daily action, the bigger your paycheck is going to be later on. The more people you have in your team in daily action, the bigger your paycheck is going to grow later on. So build with these 2-on-1s, get them onto an online Zoom call, anybody that gets started, because the big Zoom presentations is not just for your guests, but it's also for your team members. When you get your team members, the bigger the presentation, the bigger the belief goes up. And get everybody registered for the truth on Saturday. So I want to finish with one more thing. Closing. Okay? Closing hasn't changed either. When the online Zoom presentation finishes, you want to call back your prospect straight then and there. And if you're experienced, you may be able to do the closing straight away. If you're relatively new, get your mentor, get someone, you know, in your upline leadership that has more experience than you, that has a bigger story than you, to jump on as well. So that way they can also help you with the closing. The closing needs to be more intentional. What do I mean by that? When the lady that I was speaking to yesterday told me, look, I don't want to spend any money right now, I didn't just turn around and say to her, okay, I understand you don't want to spend any money. It's okay. When you want to spend some money, give me a call. I didn't do that, okay? I went for the close in the sense I wanted her to understand the problem right now and how this could be the solution. Sometimes you can do that and people might still not be ready, but you gotta sit there and get them to understand the severity of the situation. So here's the questions that I said to her. I said, if right now you don't do anything, right now you're already feeling, she lives in London, you've already been in quarantine for literally a week. You don't know how long this situation is gonna last right now. You see what I mean? You don't know. The quarantine might be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Who knows? Nobody knows, okay? But if right now you're already feeling the pain of your income disappearing, let me ask you something. If you do nothing, you're in quarantine for the next 3 months, what's your next 3 months gonna look like? What's your next 3 months gonna look like? And she said, I don't wanna think about that. And I said, but I know you don't wanna think about it, but that's like an ostrich. An ostrich puts its head in the sand when they're scared of something, okay? And they put their head in the sand and they think, if I don't see it, it's not gonna happen. If something's gonna fall and hit you on the head, if you close your eyes, it's still gonna hit you on the head. Just because you don't see it coming when you shut your eyes doesn't mean it's gonna stop in mid-flight. Whether we wanna believe that there's an economic crash happening or not, whether we wanna believe it is irrelevant, it's already happening. It's already happening. I'm speaking to people daily that are losing their jobs, that they're getting pay cuts, okay? Because of this crisis, there's gonna be jobs that are gonna completely disappear. Do you see what I mean? Whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not, it's inevitable. Look at the facts, look at the statistics. So all I'm saying to you right now is you're beginning to feel thirsty. And I'm saying to you, don't wait till you dehydrate. You're thirsty. I'm giving you the water. Do you see what I mean? I'm giving you some water. I'm giving you the opportunity. And I'm saying to you right now, this, if you dig in that section right there, there's water. And essentially digging is the process that we take action in World Ventures, okay? Is doing the presentations every single day. Understanding that sometimes you're planting seeds, the results will come later, but it's doing those presentations, doing the income producing activities right now, and you keep doing that long enough, at some point you're gonna hit the water. And when you hit water, you're gonna have water for you and your loved ones to get you through this drought that we're experiencing right now. But you're saying to me, I don't wanna dig the well right now. If you don't dig the well, you're gonna go thirsty. And I'll tell you what, it's much more challenging to dig a well when you're already thirsty and dehydrated and exhausted. But that's it. At the end of the day, I've done my part. Okay, I'm the messenger. If the person is not ready to receive the message, I know that I've done my part. So guys, sometimes I have conversations with people, and especially women, it's like we get this fear around, oh, but I don't want to be pushy. Here's the difference between being pushy and leading, okay? Pushing is saying, hey, Hine, you need to do this. If you don't do this right now, you know, your kids are gonna die, okay? That's pushy, okay? That's how you leave a bad taste in people's mouths, and that's how it's a quick way for them not to pick up your phone call, okay? That's pushy. Leading is saying, hey, Hine, if you don't do something right now, what do you think is gonna happen in the next 30 days, in the next 90 days? I'm asking questions that are probing them to think of their situation. Essentially, by asking the right questions, you can help them to create the right answers. And let me ask you something, Hine. If you're right now, if you're working from home, and let's face it, you know, your job maybe has slightly reduced in terms of volume, is it fair to say that you've got some time right now, some free time? I got a friend of mine that's a business owner, and every day, you know what he's posting every day? And I'm going to give him a call today. Every day he's posting 3 movies that he watched that day. Every day he's watching 3 movies every single day. Now, bless him, he's got plenty of money. He doesn't need the money right now. But I know he might have some people in his circle that are seeing his example, because he's quite influential, that are seeing his example, probably doing the same thing. And those people are the people that are in denial. They think that they're on holidays right now. And later on, when this situation finishes, some of you, because you've got to take massive action over the next 30 days, 90 days, some of you, when the borders open, when we have the next big event, you're going to be walking on stage because of this quarantine. Some of you right now, because you've made a decision and you start taking some massive action, this quarantine is going to be the biggest blessing that has happened to you and your family. Some of you later on, a year from now, are going to be saying, I am so grateful that challenge happened, because it made me realize how vulnerable I was before it happened, and I needed something to wake me up to my potential. It put pressure on me, and I rose to that pressure, and I rose to that challenge, and now here's my story. It comes down to you. It comes down to you whether this test is going to help you to build your biggest testimony that you've ever built, or whether this test is just, you're going to let it affect you and let it crush you, or you're going to be in denial. The choice is yours, okay? So ladies, I want to finish off with this. I challenge you today, not tomorrow, okay? Don't wait till tomorrow to build your future. Start today to build your future. I challenge you today to pick up this phone, go to your back office and do 2 things. Number 1, contact as many of your team members as possible and just let them know, how you keeping? You popped into my mind. I care about you. How are you keeping through these interesting times? Are you ready to do something about it? Are you ready to lock arms with me and start partnering up in building your biggest story over the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? Call all your team members. Let them know you're here. Let them know that you care. Get them to the truth, the training on Saturday. But more importantly, don't just let them wait until this training on Saturday. More importantly, get them to the point where they're taking action, building for this training to get more new team members that are going to come to that training. That's number 1. Number 2, pull out your list. Expand your list right now. This is the time to go through this phone and literally contact every single person you have and just go, hey, I'm here. How you doing? Start the conversations. People will tell you, and you will hear from the way that they communicate with you, whether they're ready to see something and doing something about it, or if they're so focused on the fear, just go, look, when you're ready, I'm here. I believe I found the solution to protect you and your family through these interesting times. When you're ready, give me a call. We'll make a start. If you're not ready to see what I found, it's okay. I totally get that. But when you're ready, I'm here. I challenge you today to do more phone calls than you've ever done. Reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram. You can find me at Efrosyni77 on both Instagram or Facebook. Reach out to me and I want you to message me, okay, with what you did today. Efrosyni, action 10 invites, for example, 10 or 20, no matter how many people you spoke to today, just tag me with a picture of you and the number of people you contacted today. I challenge you today to make your biggest record-breaking day today, to touch as many people as possible, to touch as many lives. 1st of April, 1st of the month, first day of a new quarter. Let's help you to take spring and become the spring where you harvest as much as possible in the next 90 days. Ladies, thank you for being on this call right now. This has been recorded. I will send it out to your leaders. You can watch it again. You can share this with the people that didn't make it on this call. And I look forward to seeing how many of you break your personal record today.